So this is 96.9 Bob FM talking today to Richie Faulkner, guitar player for the legendary heavy metal band Judas Priest. Richie, thanks for taking the time to talk to us today.
Thanks for having me, Tugger. It's a beautiful day here in Virginia, and we're looking forward to getting back on the bus and coming to see you guys soon.
Excellent. Yeah, that'll be Wednesday of next week.
Yep.
Judas Priest, Alice Cooper, and Corrosion of Conformity coming to the Pavilion at Star Lake, like I said, next Wednesday. Really looking forward to it.
We are too, man. I think we're about 4 or 5 shows into this tour with Alice and Corrosion, and yeah, it's going really well. We get on well with the guys in Alice and Corrosion of Conformity. The audiences have been great, and we're looking forward to coming down again to that part of the world, Pennsylvania. We love it down there. We've got a good family of metalheads down there, and we know they're not going to disappoint, and they're going to turn up and rock out with us. So we're looking forward to it.
Excellent. Yeah, I was going to say we have a lot of heavy metal and specifically Judas Priest fans here in Pittsburgh. What can these fans look forward to hearing at this show? What do you have planned for the set list that we can look forward to?
Well, it's very hard these days to stay away from, the set list online, isn't it? You've got to really try hard. If you don't want to know the set list, you've really got to try hard to stay away and keep off the internet. But a lot of people probably know it's the 35th anniversary of Painkiller this year, so we're kind of honoring that record as we should really. I mean, it's a monumental record for the band. So we're hitting points of that. We're hitting a couple of points on Invincible Shield still. That came out last year. So that's the reference of the Shield of Pain. There's the Shield of the Invincible Shield and the Pain of Painkiller. So we're referencing both those records with a few others thrown in. The classics and a few curveballs and stuff. Which we always try and do on a pre-show, and then it's obviously everything you'd expect from a pre-show. It's going to be loud and hot and sweaty. There's going to be motorbikes and all sorts of fun. So we're looking forward to it.
Fantastic. And we're looking forward to it too. Yeah, you said the 35th anniversary of Painkiller, which was just this monumental album. Obviously, that fantastic lead single. I'm going to be honest with you. I have actually looked at the set list from these past couple shows online because I'm one of those people I do like to know. Very cool seeing that you're bringing a couple of the songs from that album that haven't been played in many years now and bringing them to these shows. What has the fan reaction been to hearing a couple of those songs for the first time in many years?
It's been really positive, especially in Europe when we started the tour. We got a lot of positive feedback. Before we started, Rob would go out and he would want parts of one part of the show was he'd go through all the records that they've done, starting with Rock and Roller right up to present day. And when he hit on Painkiller, the roof would lift off. So it was really evident that, that's a really important record to a lot of people. 1990, it was 35 years ago now, as we said. It's a long time ago now, but it's really stood the test of time. And I think, the fans have really appreciated hearing those songs on this run. Obviously, next time around, we'll do something different, but it seemed right to pay homage to this record by referencing that record this time round. So yeah, they seem to be really happy with it.
Yeah, fantastic. And there's no doubt with how many Judas Priest albums there are out there that it probably gets more difficult year after year to build that set list with how big of a catalog that you have. So, of those songs that you mix and match and choose each year that you come around, what are some of your personal favorites to play? Not the band, just you as the guitarist. What are some of your favorites to go out there and play each night?
You're absolutely right. I mean, it does get harder and harder. You've got to cram everything into a 1 hour 40 set. If we've got a full set. As far as favorite songs for me, I always come back to the Sentinel from the Defenders of the Faith record. That's always one of my favorites. Victim of Changes, and obviously songs that I've had a hand in creating with the band from the last three records. They have a special place in my heart because I was there creating them with the band. So they're a bit closer to my heart. But then there's other songs, Electric Eye is always a great one to play. Painkiller, obviously. There's so many, as you said. There's such a vast wealth of music from the guys. Killing Machine is a great one. Excuse me, I'm getting calls coming through. How rude. But yeah, I'd definitely say the Sentinel and Victim of Changes from the classics. They always they get my vote every time.
Fantastic. Yeah, Sentinel, great song. That's one of my favorites too. So you guys at this show are performing with Alice Cooper, another legendary band that's been here in Pittsburgh a handful of times over the past couple of years. What's it like touring with and hanging out with the guys from that band?
Oh, it's first of all, I mean, again, we were talking about a legacy of songs with that Priest has got. Alice, even I think Alice has been going longer than Priest, you know. So from a song point of view and records, I mean, it's fantastic. As a guitar player, there's so much great stuff there. And he's always got a great band. You know, he's got Nita Strauss up there at the moment, Ryan Roxy, Tommy Henriksen on guitar, Chuck Garrick, you know, Glenn Sobel. Fantastic band. He always has fantastic bands, not only on stage but hanging out backstage as well. They're great, great energy. We've known them for a while, so we kind of go back a few years, and it's always great to see them. And Alice is a class act, obviously, as well. But so it's great from both sides of the coin, both musically and on a personal level. It's great having them on tour with us. It makes everything easier. You know what I mean? No one's got any issues with anyone. Everyone's just happy to be there. I think everyone loves each other's music. And it can't get any better than that, really. And then we've got the Corrosion of Conformity guys as well opening up, and they're great guys too. Great music, great guys. Again, can't get any better than that.
Great. Yeah, that's a fantastic double bill there with Alice Cooper, Judas Priest, and Corrosion of Conformity. I've never seen them myself, but really looking forward to seeing them as well. So, you personally, you joined the band back in 2011, correct?
That's correct.
And you kind of stepped into the shoes of KK Downing. And you've said before that Glenn Tipton, the other guitarist, has been a huge mentor for you over the years.
Mm.
How has your role in the band, not only as a songwriter, but also as a performer, kind of changed over those past, 14 years now that you've been in the group?
It's a good question. I mean, I think, like with any role, when you come in first, initially you have to keep your own house in order. So you're very much focused on what you're doing and how your performance is, or you're playing everything correctly and doing everything you should be doing. I think as the time goes on, you become more aware and more a part of what are we doing? What are we doing as a collective? What can we do to make it better, louder, better performances, better records, or whatever it may be, So that definitely changes. And as I said, that's probably the same in any situation, in any group, a football team or an office. When you come in, you have one, kind of mindset, and as you become more a part of that team, more close to everyone in that team, you become more a part of it. And I think that's no different in this band as well. And they've always been open to opinions. And that kind of mindset really helps, I think, the situation as a whole. Everyone has got their own opinion, and we all work together to make it the best we can be for a fan base that's put them there for over 50 years. And I think that's how it's changed, really. You just become part of that.
Sure. And that's great, you kind of becoming a part of that process with the three albums now. Last year's Invincible Shield, before that, Firepower, and then Redeemer of Souls, correct? That was a little over 10 years ago.
That's correct. Yeah, 10 years, bloody hell. Yeah, it's been that long.
Very nice. And do you find it's important to keep the band moving forward creatively? Obviously, you're always playing the hits, the songs from the past that people like to hear, but also at the same time exploring new sounds and trying new things that maybe Judas Priest hasn't done before.
I think it's important for a band that has a creative energy like that to nurture that creative energy and try and push forward. And I think they always have tried to do that. They've always pushed into new areas. They were always pioneers, And sometimes, I mean, there's a certain time when everyone comes into Priest's catalog. It might be Painkiller, it might be Stained Class, or it might be Killing Machine. But there's a younger audience out there now as well, and we talk to them sometimes, and their first album they heard was Firepower, or it was Invincible Shield, So I think they're important right across the board. Our last album was as important as other ones, for those people that are seeing Priest for the first time. So, and there's always that creative itch that we have to do better, as I said before, better record, better production, better songwriting, better solo, better performance, whatever it is. I think we're all driven in Priest to do that. So it's just a natural thing. Um, whether it's important or not to everyone, I don't know. You know, some people might see that differently, but I think it's important for us in Priest as creatives to nurture that and get that creative stuff out, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely. And obviously it's working. I mean, I'm 26 years old, huge fan. I can't wait to see Priest next week. And obviously you've got people who their first album was, 20, 30, 40 years ago, some of those albums that were coming out. So it really is a cross-generational group.
It's the same with Alice, as we were talking about before. Alice Cooper, you know, all those decades of music, pioneering, you know, the shock rock element and going through decades and changing decade to decade, but keeping that heart. The Priest is the same. So you've got fans from 50 years ago that are there in 2025, and it's a magical thing. You know, they've got their kids there and their grandkids, and it's a magical thing to be a part of. So we're honored to be out there doing it, to be honest.
Excellent. Well, we're really looking forward to that show next week. Cannot wait. Judas Priest, Alice Cooper, Corrosion of Conformity, Pavilion at Star Lake next Wednesday.
Hi, everybody. This is Richie Faulkner from Judas Priest, wishing Bob FM 96.9 a very happy 20th birthday. Keep the faith, and we'll see you out there.